My name is Joe Palumbo. I graduated from Bowie High School in 1972. When I was a kid, there's no time in my life that I can remember that we didn't attend church. And of course, I learned all the Jesus stories and Adam and Eve and all the good stuff. I thought I was a good kid growing up. I kind of felt entitled, I think, because I went to church and because I was good. I just knew that that's how I would make it to heaven, by being good and doing what was expected of me. It wasn't until, I was 24. I had a guy come into my store at the time. I was working in a retail store. He came in and wanted to share his faith, not with me, but with the customer. And she started asking questions of him. He had all the answers. He wasn't addressing me at all the whole time. He was concentrating on her and talking to her. And at the end of it, she just said, "Well, that's good for you. I don't think it's good for me." Carl turned around and said, "Well, that's great." And he says, God bless you." He says, "It was great talking to you." Just very humbled, wasn't upset that she didn't accept what he was saying, and just went on his way. And he walked out of the store, and I realized that 3 hours that he was talking to this lady, he was talking to me. That's why he was there. It was more than just believing that Jesus died on the cross. I thought that was one way to get to heaven, that there were many ways to get to heaven. And it wasn't until that time that I realized that faith in Jesus was the only way to get to heaven. It was at that time that I made him my Lord and my Savior. I'd love to tell you that from that time on, everything was bliss, that I got everything I wanted, that everything went well in my life. But that didn't happen. I had 2 failed businesses. I had a lot of financial problems, times in my life when we weren't sure where the grocery money was going to come from. We didn't tell anybody because that pride thing kind of stepped in, and I didn't want anybody to know I didn't have any money. We had a Christmas where if each of our kids got a pair of socks, that was going to be a lot for that year. But somehow God always stepped in and provided for us. Somebody that knew our family bought gifts for all of our children. And Christmas Eve, as I was taking the trash out after putting all the things together and the kids were in bed, there's a bag of stocking stuffers on the side porch. It ended up that what I thought was going to be the worst Christmas ever in the history of man ended up being our very best Christmas that we've had. My belief in Jesus has changed my life in that I know I have someone to lean on in those times. I've always thought that I could make it on my own. I always did think that. And I realized that I can't. That I have a need for a Savior, that I'm a sinner, that I do sin, that I continue to sin. It's only through the death of Jesus that I can be restored in a relationship with God. I always wanted to be a teacher. I always wanted to be a history teacher. And God opened that door for me 12 years ago. I had an opportunity to become an athletic director of a high school. And one thing I've learned over this 12 years is that athletics, sports, and playing on a team, it's not all about winning. I always thought it was, and if I didn't win, I was a failure. John Wooden, the UCLA basketball coach, was fond of saying that sports do not build character, they reveal it. And it's those times on the field when things aren't going like you think they should, you're not playing as well as you think you should, your team doesn't win, those character flaws are revealed. As a coach, as the athletic director, that's a great opportunity to build their character, to help them see that they're not the center of the universe. In my own life, I have 7 children. We have 16 grandchildren. Just my faith has been very instrumental in raising them and trying to instill Christian values in them, to provide for others, to encourage others, to be loving to others. I'm Joe Palumbo. That's my story. What's yours?